So,
Takže
as I said last week,
Rowan
ahead.
hovorí, že to bolo jasné ako deň a noc, tie sely. Aj podľa cloudu, aj podľa toho, čo hovoril podľa tej dlhodobej analýzy.
Okay. Before, if anyone has any questions, get them ready. First, I'm going to show you the cloud and why the cloud gave you a very simple idea as to what was happening with the price.
Takže zatiaľ si, kto chce, pripravte otázky a ja vám ukážem jednoduchú analýzu, prečo to bolo také jasné.
Okay, so on the weekly time frame,
na týždennom.
Can you see what's happening with the cloud lines?
Vidíte, čo sa dialo s tými cloudovými líniami?
Do you remember what I said when the cloud lines are pointing in a direction, what that means?
Pamätáte si, čo som hovoril, že keď takto ukazujú cloudové línie, čo to znamená?
Okay.
Do jedného smeru?
It's the sell.
Yeah, and that's showing on the weekly time frame. So there was no way I was going to take any buys this week.
Takže už len, keď som si pozrel týždenný cloud, tak v žiadnom prípade by som nerobil tento týždeň žiadne báje.
Remember, you guys all have access to me. You could have just said, Mr. Bond, what do you think? What do you see this week?
A pamätajte si, že máte všetci po mňa prístup, mohli ste sa opýtať. A čo si myslím, že sa bude diať tento týždeň?
Okay, but this is not just for you to rely on my analysis, but this is for confirmation of your own analysis if there's something I also see.
A nie je to o tom, aby ste plne akože záviseli od tej analýzy, ale skôr, aby ste si potvrdili alebo vyvrátili, alebo teda popremýšľali nad tým, ako to máte vy.
Okay, so weekly time frame, the lines are pointing down. Daily, look how far the lagging line is away from this, and look at the lines. All the lines are pointing down.
Takže všetky línie ukazujú dole, tá lagging línia je ďaleko. When it's so far, that means momentum, yes?
Momentum, yeah.
Keď je to tak ďaleko od seba, tak to znamená momentum veľké.
Okay. And it's underneath the cloud.
A sme samozrejme pod cloudom.
Maybe dumb question, and since I was really not following all your trainings before, the momentum means what exactly, please?
Momentum means that there's strong pressure or volume in one direction.
Okay, thank you very much.
Kto sa pýtal, ale... Kto?
Jana.
Aha, Janka sa pýtala, že čo to znamená momentum. Momentum znamená veľký objem alebo veľká sila.
Okay, so a daily, 12-hour, and the 4-hour. All the lines are pointing down, all underneath the cloud, which is why I personally which is why I didn't go for any buys this week, only sells.
Práve preto som ja nerobil žiadne buy tento týždeň, iba sely.
Okay, so let me show you why that was important, because on the 4-hour time frame, I believe there was a BEC. Maybe it doesn't show it on. No, maybe not there. Let me go back to my chart. Yeah, so there's a BEC here. And this is where many people would have got caught out and thought that this is a zone to take buys.
There was quite few zones, yeah.
Yeah.
Takže tu si možno mnoho ľudí myslelo, že toto je tá zóna už na buy.
However, when I see the cloud pointing down like this, the lines, and it below the cloud, and prices below the cloud, I understood that this area isn't going to act as a strong support.
Ale keď ja vidím takto všetky línie ukazujú dole, aj cloud ukazuje dole, všetko je skrátka nasmerované dole, tak je jasné, že táto zóna nebude taká silná, aby podržala to momentum selové. But was it also looking like this at the moment of when this was recent, when this
Yeah.
was,
Yeah, so if I go back to this is my chart, but there's not too many lines. I'll go back to this up here. Okay, so this was yesterday.
Takže toto bolo včera. Ja sa pýtam, že či to takto isto ukazovalo aj v tom momente treba z tejto odrazovej zóny.
At 2 p.m.
Yes.
UK is the next candle.
Mhm.
Look at the cloud lines.
Hej.
Yeah, but it was almost unbelievable that they are still showing
Yeah.
down. It was like a never ending going down, that it wouldn't be really.
And it's
Yeah.
still going down.
It's still going down, but however, look, if I go to the weekly, the cloud lines were still pointing down, right? So if it's showing on the weekly time frame that the lines are pointing down, that means that the selling volume the selling pressure is strong.
Mhm.
Very unlikely that it's going to get support at a demand BEC zone.
Mhm. Takže oni sú tak silne ukazujúce všetky tým dolným smerom, že by bolo veľmi nepravdepodobné, aby demand BCčka 1 zastavila vlastne celý ten kolos.
Okay. If I go to the 12-hour, I think it was also yeah. So the 12-hour is also showing the same thing.
A 12-hodinovka ukazovala to isté.
The high, when you see the lines like this on the higher time frame, the higher the time frame, the stronger the momentum.
A keď vidíte takto línie na väčších časových grafoch, čím väčší časový graf, to ukazuje, tým silnejšie je to momentum.
So to give you an example, let's say you see this on the weekly, the lines are pointing down on the weekly, daily, and 12-hour, but on the 4-hour, it's not pointing down.
A takže na všetkých týchto daily, na týchto väčších časových grafoch ukazujú dole, ale na 4-hodinovom, now, if you press 4-hour, it would not show?
It's showing on the 4-hour, but let's say if I go to the 1-hour.
Dajme tomu, aha, it's showing everywhere.
It's showing everywhere, but you see on the 1-hour, it's not pointed down as much as the 12-hour.
I don't know. It
Okay.
looks pretty down.
Yeah. Okay. So let me go to the 12-hour. Look how
okay.
pointing
I
down.
see now. Vidíte, ako veľmi jednoznačne, úplne ako, že kolmo dole je to na tom veľkom 12-hodinovom a na hodinovom to nie je až také kolmé. OK.
Whereas on the 1-hour, it's pointing down, but not as strongly as the 12-hour.
OK. Na hodinovom to neukazuje až taký kolmopád. OK.
What that means is go with the higher time frame.
Tak toto znamená, že tam sa riaďte tým veľkým časovým grafom.
Even if you see it start to buy on the 1-hour, for instance, still expect sells.
Aj keby ste videli nejaké báje, nejaké bájové sviečky, tak stále očakávajte sely.
Does that make sense to everyone?
No, okay. This is not current.
No, this is yesterday's one. Yeah. So let me go to the current one.
Keď si pozrieme teraz, ako to vyzerá, it's drop-based drop forming. No, it was already.
Yeah. Okay. So it's getting some support here. However, my prediction is still here. This is the zone that I see it stopping, in this zone here.
Takže už teraz to dostáva aspoň nejaký support. Vidíme aj na tej línii. Yes, so finally the blue line is flat, right?
Yeah, so you see the blue line is flat on the 1-hour.
For the first time in 2 days.
Yeah.
Probably.
However, if you look on the daily.
Okay. Ale keď si pozrieme denný.
Look at the lines. You see it's they're both pointing down. So the momentum
stále
still with
ukazujú
selling.
dole. OK. Stále sellerové momentum. A Rowan hovorí, že to vidí až niekde v tej oblasti 1830, 36, 31. That's
so around this zone here between 1831 and 1836 is where I see price getting some sort of support before it does a bigger retracement.
Takže až tam vidí, že je nejaký support predtým, než spraví nejaký retracement.
A prečo práve tam?
Why do you see there?
Okay. Remember, there was a candlestick that I showed you. This candlestick that price is heading for, and this wick that the price had not touched.
Okay. Pamätáte si, keď sme si rozprávali na trading kruhoch, že cena určite príde po túto sviečku, ktorá si nespravila knot, a takisto po tú sviečku, ktorá má ten obrovský knot, ktorý ešte nebol dotknutý, tak ide poň. Akože to je predpoklad, hej? Nič nie na 100%, ale to je predpoklad.
As you see here, the span B is flat.
Aha.
So this shows you that there's going to be a zone of support here.
Áno. A tu nám máme zarovnaný cloud, span B, takže to je ako support zóna.
Okay.
And then you were looking for some ETM candles in these zones, yes?
Yeah, which I found a few, which I've mapped out already. There's a 30-minute BC in there, 2-hour and rally-based rally, 4-hour rally-based rally inside this wick.
I love this analysis, Rowan. Takže v tejto zóne som si našiel vlastne tie 30-minútovú demand BC-čku, 4-hodinovú a 2-hodinovú. Excuse me, how did you say the last sentences?
That in this zone, that there's 30-minute demand BC, 2-hour rally-based rally, and a 4-hour rally-based rally in this zone.
Yes, so okay, I said it correctly.
Yeah. So what I'm waiting to see is these lines flatten out or at least start to curve back up. The conversion and the baseline start to curve back up and not be pointed down so much.
Takže na čo čakám je, než sa tieto línie konverzná a base línia začnú otáčať a než prestanú ukazovať takto priamo silno dole.
If it's still pointed down on Monday, then it's heading for this zone.
Ak to stále takto bude ukazovať aj v pondelok, tak to ide až do tejto zóny.
So you would say that still keep sells now?
Right now, yeah. Today and tomorrow, I would say keep sells because the TK lines are pointing down, which means all the momentum is with selling.
Všetko momentum je na sell. Aj dneska, aj zajtra uvidíme, ako sa to vyvinie, ale zatiaľ je to na sell.
Okay, so from where price is now to this zone, that's another almost 300 pips. So it's a good chance that's where the price is going to end tomorrow.
Tu máme ďalších skoro 300 pipov a je veľká šanca, že tá cena skončí až tu.
And from my curiosity, I believe that you are in sell from Monday, right?
No, I didn't. I wish I kept one sell for Monday. No, but I took sales all week.
Okay.
That's why the trade ideas I posted, I didn't post any buy ideas, all sells.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, and what about
otázka bola, že či drží sely od pondelka. Aaron hovorí, že prijal by si, aby udržal aspoň jeden sell, ale celý týždeň robí sely.
Môžu to ovplyvniť správy dneska večer, ešte o 10:00 sú tam?
Can news at 10 p.m. Do something with this?
Potentially, yeah. However, it may push the price down even further to this zone that we're talking about, or it will just do a slight retracement and then continue down tomorrow. But I don't see it just shooting back up. I only see it continuing down to this zone.
And why is the momentum so big? What do you mean? Because
ešte vás poprosím, nechajte mi tam priestor na preklad. Takže tá otázka bola, že či si myslí, že správy o 10:00 to nejako ešte môžu zvrátiť alebo zmeniť alebo niečo s tým spraviť. A Rowan si skôr myslí, že keď tak tie správy to posunú viac dole. Môže byť nejaký retracement a od zajtra znovu dole.
Miriam, go ahead. What was your question?
Why is the momentum so big? Because of the candle with the bottom big?
Yeah, so what I look for is zones like this. So you see this candle bought and then just carried on buying without doing any retracement to this wick here. And it has no candle, it has no wick itself. I knew price had to come back to here because
Yes.
it's like, it's a area of liquidity.
Takže ja mám rád takéto zóny a to vlastne aj spomínal na tých hovoroch na obidvoch minulé týždne, že cena proste sa chce dostať do tejto zóny, kde není sú ani vrchný, ani spodný knot a kde ten veľký knot je nedotknutý. To sú všetko zóny liquidity. Can
Everyone
you...
understand what liquidity means?
Tak, I wanted to ask you to explain. A chcete, aby vysvetlil, čo tým myslí likvidita?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. So liquidity is basically where most retail traders have their stop loss. So the longer term traders that are putting on a trade for maybe a couple of weeks, this is where they would put their stop loss. And this is how the banks, they will go through the stop losses, stop people out, and then continue going in the direction they want to go in.
Okay.
You want to explain again?
Yes.
Okay. Let me give you an illustration instead.
Takže radšej ilustrácia.
So let's say the longer term traders that are doing a long trade, let's say from here, okay, and they're doing a trade like this. So they say they placed a trade here.
Takže dlhodobí obchodníci, dajme tomu, by zadali takto obchod.
And maybe their idea is something like this, and they're expecting this to last maybe a month or two.
A možno, že očakávajú, že teraz toto bude trvať mesiac alebo 2.
What the banks do is they come, they will stop these trades, they will go through these stop losses so that the traders lose their trade and then continue going in the buying direction.
A čo banky môžu spraviť, že prejdú s tou cenou až po tie zvyčajné stop lossy a potom pôjdu do tých bájov.
Does that make sense?
Dáva to zmysel?
Yeah. So liquidity is an area where there's a lot of stop losses.
Likvidita je zóna, kde je veľa stop lossov.
Okay, and they are just like pointing to the stop loss, but they are not like stopping out, right? It's just going to be then getting back.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is how they take money from the retail traders.
Takto si banky radi zoberú peniaze od maloobchodníkov.
Oh.
Okay. So let me give you an example. Let's say you put a trade on here.
Takže dajme tomu, že ste si tu zadali obchod.
And it got all the way to here.
A prišlo to až sem.
But your take profit is here.
Ale váš take profit je tu.
Okay. And so now you're thinking, oh, it's going to come and hit my take profit. That's what most retail traders are thinking. It's going to hit my take profit.
A väčšina obchodníkov takto rozmýšľa, že tu je môj take profit, tu mi to
then it comes down, you think it's just going to retrace and then continue going up.
A potom to spraví ten retracement a myslíte si, že to pôjde hore?
So what they do is they retrace it all the way down, just enough to take out the stop losses and then continue buying to this zone.
OK. A oni radi proste prejdú cez tie stop lossy ľudí.
Because they understand the psychology of most traders.
Pretože chápu psychológiu väčšinou obchodníkov.
Does that all make sense to everyone now?
Dáva vám to zmysel?
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome. Now, does anyone have any questions?
Máte nejaké otázky?
Lepšie nezadávať take profity a stop lossy, aby sme neboli toľko čitateľní.
Do not do stop loss and take profit so they cannot read us?
No, you still do stop loss and take profit. However, you just have to identify the candlesticks. Like for instance, here, if let's say you took a sell from this zone here, you would know that the take profit would be here at this zone.
OK. To nehovorí, on hovorí, že identifikovať si tie potvrdenia. Hej, že keď vieš, že tu je zóna, do ktorej mu to dojde proste, lebo to tam rádo chodí, tak si spravíš hore sell a tu si spravíš take profit. To je v poriadku.
Okay. Now, obviously, I'm showing you the weekly time frame. But if you do this on the 1 hour time frame, I've noticed that 90% of the time when I find a candlestick like this and I use it as a take profit, that's where it goes.
Again, please.
I found that if I use a candlestick like this as my take profit area, 90% of the time, that's where the price goes to.
Aha. Mne sa osvedčilo, že keď takúto zónu spravím ako take profit zónu, tak 90% sa to stane.
Let's see if we can find some examples. I haven't looked to find examples, but let's see if we can find some examples.
Poďme si skúsiť nájsť nejaké príklady, aj keď ja som ich teda nehľadala, ale skúsme, či niečo nájdeme.
Okay. Okay, so here is one candlestick that for me, price will come back to this zone here. I'm going to put it as orange. Yeah, let's do it
Takže
as
zaznačíme si ako fialové. A tuto je napríklad zóna, o ktorej si myslím, že tam cena určite bude chcieť prísť.
So to give you an example, what I would do, let's say we're going to take a buy from, let me put a line.
Takže ako príklad.
This is not the buy zone, but I'm just giving you an example.
Toto nie je tá buy zóna, dávam vám len príklad.
It's on the other chart where I've got my buy zone.
Again?
It's on the Oanda chart, not the Forex.
OK, je to na Oande. Aha,
Yeah.
nie na tomto brokerovi.
So this is what I mean. Let's say you're going to take a buy from here.
Takže dajme tomu, tu si dáte buy.
My take profit zone would be here, where I see that this is a liquidity zone.
A moja take profit zóna by bola tu kde vidím likviditu zónu.
Does that make sense?
Dáva vám to zmysel?
Yeah. Let's see if I'm going to get rid of this. Let's see if we can do it again.
I'm sorry, and liquidity means like there is no knot, right?
No, liquidity means that this is where retail traders have put their stop losses.
Yeah, but you can see it because there is no knot.
Yeah, it means that, yeah, because there's no wick here.
Oh, wick, sorry, wick.
It's okay. No, not that is not wick.
Yeah.
Whatever, however you understand it, it's okay. Okay, so let's do it again.
Dobre, ja som sa len pýtala iba, že po slovensky neviem, že či tam vidí tú likviditu. Vy ste to možno viete, ale že či tam tú likviditu vidí kvôli tomu, že tam teda nie je ten knot. Že preto, hej.
Let's see if I can find that, for example.
Ja by som sa spýtal, ja to teda som sledoval teraz poslednú dobu, že sú to aj také zlomové zóny, že sa to odrazí odtiaľ naspäť, že to nejde vyššie a podobne, áno? Môže to tak byť?
Zlomové zóny, ktoré...
Alebo odrazové, dá sa povedať, že namiesto sviečok, áno, že sa to vracia späť.
Môžeš to prosím ťa špecifikovať?
Že napríklad ako nastavil take profit teraz, že to príde od spodu hore, tak odtiaľ sa to väčšinou sa to vracia ako naspäť. Áno?
Od tej zóny, áno?
Áno, áno.
Od tej zóny, kde není ten knot, áno?
Ten není knot, hej.
Okay. The question is if you identified as a breaking zone, like where price would really reject from and change the trend.
What these candlesticks?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's a take profit zone for me. However, I would expect it to come and look for a wick like this. So when you see the candlestick has no wick and a previous wick is really long, that price has not come back and taken 50% of it out, that's the area that I expect that price is going to come to.
Takže v zóne, so first there is no wick on the previous candles.
So this one, there's no wick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
And then here, let me turn off the cloud. So
Yes,
it's easier
yes.
to see.
Aha. Aha.
So this candle, there's no wick.
Na
Okay.
tejto sviečke není knot. Mhm.
But you see here, there's a really long wick that price has not come back into this
Mhm.
zone.
A tu je veľmi dlhý knot, ku ktorému cena ešte neprišla vôbec.
I always know that price is going to take, when it leaves a really long wick, it needs to take at least 50% of it out.
Mhm. A keď až takýto obrovský knot si cena nechá, viem, že bude chcieť prísť naspäť aspoň po 50% toho knotu.
So if you're going to take two trades, you could have one trade as here as your take profit one, this zone here, and then you can have take profit two in the wick.
Mhm.
50%
Takže
of
ak
the wick.
máš dlhodobý obchod, môžeš si tu zadať take profit 1 a tu na take profit 2.
Does that make sense though?
Mhm. Dáva to zmysel?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's put here. So I'm going to put another line at this wick here. If we go to price,
Okay, but this is like when this is in like you are looking in the time back, and I'm going to take this sell when it's going to come down based on these indicators. Okay. Mhm.
yeah, so you're looking for a zone where, let's say you see prices now selling,
Mhm, mhm.
okay?
Aha,
You're
dajme
looking for a zone at where price can come to before it looks for support.
Dajme tomu, že teraz je trh klesajúci, cena padá a ty hľadáš možné body, kde si chceš vybrať profit.
Okay, so let's look over here. Let's see. Okay, so you see this zone here? That's the first zone that price got support.
Takže vidíš túto zónu, to je prvá zóna, kde si spravila cena support.
Okay. You see this zone here? Look at where price bought from and how far.
OK. A v tejto druhej zóne tiež si spravila vlastne veľký odraz.
So it's just understanding the candlesticks.
Takže toto pochopenie tých sviečok. Mhm.
Mhm. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see if we can find another example of a candlestick like this that has a long wick before it. And if anybody has any questions, let us know.
Ak má niekto nejaké otázky, dajte nám vedieť. A ak sa niekto pýta v angličtine, tak buď sa preložte, alebo dajte priestor na preklad, vás poprosím.
At this moment, we have a lot of candles without the wicks on the bottom and on the top
Where?
in the chart, in the real chart.
Real chart right now?
Yeah. Mhm,
Okay.
yeah. Že momentálne máme veľa sviečok v reálnom čase, kde nie sú ani spodné, ani vrchné.
You're looking about these candlesticks here?
On the 5 minutes, I was looking.
Oh, no. I'm not looking at the 5 minute for a longer term
Okay.
trade.
Mhm. Hovorí, že nepozerá sa na 5-minútové. So actually, we have to have a look the long term.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
because I saw this candlestick on the weekly time frame, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. That's when I said originally, this is the zone that I see price coming to.
On hovorí, že v podstate, že nemáme pozerať na tie krátkodobé časy, ale na tie sviečky, čo sú na tých dlhších dobách, hej, akože týždňové, dňové, alebo také, že na tie bez knotov. So it's mean on the small ones when I'm trading on the 5 minutes, it is different
You
Wait.
can do it on the 5 minute. However, you want to look for confirmation on the higher time frame of these candlesticks on the high time frame.
Lebo som sa opýtala, že ja väčšinou obchodujem na 5 minútovkách, že či to tam vlastne sa tak nechová. On povedal, že môže sa tak chovať, ale musí si to potvrdiť na tých zónach s dlhším časovým pásmom. Thank you.
You're welcome. But does that make sense? You have to keep doing it. You have to keep understanding. When you see the candlesticks with no wick, that is an important candlestick, especially on a high time frame.
Takže dáva vám to zmysel, je to o tom pochopení, o tom študovaní a hlavne na tých veľkých časových pásmach sviečka bez knotu je dôležitá zóna.
So this is a 4 hour, this is another important candlestick. No wick, and it has a wick previous. It's not a big wick. If the wick was bigger, then this would give me even more confirmation.
Okay. Takže táto sviečka nemá knot, je to na vyššom časovom pásme a tá predchádzajúca, tá zelená predchádzajúca, keby mala veľký knot, tak je to pre mňa ešte extra potvrdenie, že tá cena sa tam vráti.
So potentially in the future, this will come back here.
Yeah.
Okay. Takže v budúcnosti potenciálne sa tam vráti, keď teda ako povedal, že nie je to až taký ten silný ten knot predtým. Ale je to možnosť.
Okay. Let's see if there's any more. Let me go to the 12 hour so it doesn't slow it down. Okay, so this is another example.
Toto je ďalší príklad.
So you see this?
Okay. But the price came there right away, no?
This came here, but look at this wick.
Okay.
Nothing's come to take out 50% of this.
Nič neprišlo zobrať 50% tohto knotu.
So even though price is buying, I know it can't continue buying until it comes and takes out this wick here.
OK, takže aj keď cena od toho začala byť buy, vedel som, že nemôže pokračovať dlhodobo na buy bez toho, že by sa vrátila a uchmatla aspoň 50% toho knotu.
Okay, which is why this is another important wick here. The liquidity is here in this wick.
OK, a preto je aj tento knot dôležitý, tu je likvidita.
Okay, let's go across, let's see if we can find some more examples. As long as this is making sense, though, the most important thing is this making sense to you?
Naozaj najdôležitejšie je, aby to každému z vás dávalo zmysel.
Okay. Here is another candlestick with no wick at the bottom.
Tu máme ďalšiu sviečku bez knotu.
So let's say you do something like this. Let's say you take a sell from here.
Dajme tomu, že si tu zadáš sell.
I haven't done the analysis, but I remember this was a strong resistance area here.
Ja som teraz nespravil tú analýzu, ale pamätám si, že toto bola silná zóna odrazu.
I'll put a line here so you guys can see that this was a strong resistance area. We're going to go back in time and I'll show you.
Toto bola silná rezistencia. Pôjdeme späť v čase, ukážem vám.
But what I would do is I would use the bottom of this candlestick here as my take profit.
OK. A čo by som spravil? A ja by som dal ako take profit a koniec tejto sviečky.
And you see, this is where it starts to get some support, and it wicks before it continues to sell.
A tu na to má zároveň veľký support, veľa knotov smerom dole a až po niekoľkých razoch sa to prerazí dole. Mhm.
But let's go up here and I'll show you. Okay, so if I go across this, remember there's a 12-hour. Look here, here. It was a resistance here. Support, resistance. This is on a 12-hour time frame. So you can see this is a very strong zone.
A toto tiež vidíme ako veľmi silnú zónu.
Look how many times price is sold from this zone.
Pozrite sa, koľkokrát cena vlastne sa odrazila od tejto zóny. Yes.
Okay. And if we do this, I'll put it across here. Here. But this is 38% retracement, between 38 and 50% retracement zone. So it's you're almost at the golden zone. By this wick is actually at the golden zone.
Yes. A keď spravíme ten Fibonacciho, tak vidíme, že tento knot tejto sviečky, pri ktorej má krížik, vošiel až do tej zlatej zóny a odtiaľ išiel dole. Beautiful.
So what I tend to see when it comes to golden zone is you'll get some type of rejection. If it's going with the trend, it will reject and continue in the direction that it's going. If it's going against the trend, it will reject and maybe give you 10, 15, 20 pips rejection before it continues in the direction it's going in.
Takže tá zlatá zóna mne zatiaľ ukazuje, že keď ide s trendom, že je to naozaj len ako retracement v trende, tak sa tam sviečka dostane, cena dostane a pokračuje ďalej v trende. Ak by to bolo proti trendu, tak potom určite nám to dá nejakých 10-15 pipov aspoň.
Okay. But that's it really, guys. There's nothing else I can really show you apart from you guys back testing what I've just shown you.
Takže to je skutočne všetko. Ja teraz chcem, aby ste si išli backtestovať toto, čo som vám teraz ukázal. Yes.
Let me see if I can find another example before we end the call if there's no questions.
Yeah, we can do some call again with the Fibonacci.
Okay.
And somebody can analyze in the future.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Okay, so this is another candlestick. The only thing is there's not a wick that has been left. There's no big wick that's been left.
Aha. Takže dajme tomu tu zase máme sviečku bez knotu na 12 hodinovke dokonca a akorát jediný rozdiel je, že pod ňou není žiadna iná sviečka s veľkým knotom.
But you see it used it as support.
A pozrite sa. Si to vlastne využila ako support cena.
Which is why you use it as a take profit zone.
Preto je dobre to použiť ako take profit zónu.
Okay. Let's see if there's one. Let's see if there's another one. Okay. This is the last one. And then, yeah, next week we'll go over the fib.
Super. A na budúci týždeň si môžeme zase prejsť Fibonacciho.
Here. So you see this candlestick?
Vidíte túto sviečku?
Has no bottom wick.
Nemá spodný knot.
Okay. but you have this one that 50% of it hasn't been touched.
A máte tu tento knot, kde 50% nebolo dotknuté ešte.
So that's another potential zone. If it continues to sell, that price could come to here.
To je ďalšia potenciálna zóna, keď to bude pokračovať na sell, kde by cena mohla dojsť.
If it continues to sell next week, then this could be a zone it comes to before it starts to buy.
To bude pokračovať v tých seloch aj budúci týždeň, tak toto je zóna, do ktorej by to mohlo dojsť.
But what you want to do is you want to look at the monthly time frame. So from next week, you want to look at the monthly and see what does the monthly cloud show you.
OK. A čo by ste mohli začať robiť, je pozerať si like at the beginning of analysis or something like that.
At the beginning of the analysis that you do, yeah.
Na začiatku vašej analýzy si skontrolovať mesačný cloud, čo vám ukazuje. This is monthly on gold now, yes?
Correct. Remember last week we said that this zone here with the baseline flat, that's where I expect it to go.
OK. Pamätáte si minulý týždeň? Yes, you did. Minulý týždeň som vám hovoril, že očakávam, že cena príde po túto modrú líniu. Yes.
Yeah. So let's say that price comes down, touches this zone this week, and then the next month you see these two lines pointing up, then expect mainly buys for the month of October. OK. Takže keď cena sa dotkne tejto modrej línie a potom uvidíte, ako cloudové línie trebárs, že začnú ukazovať dohora, tá modrá s oranžovou, tak začnite hľadať možnosti buy, ak sa tak stane. Also, what I wanted to ask, this is actually triple top on the monthly. And I don't know much about it. But I said when I saw the third one forming that it must go down at least to the neckline. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know the double top, triple top. I don't know the double top, triple top. All this basically shows you is that there's resistance here. Or support when you see it like this.
Okay. Yes, that's might be the neckline.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. But I am interested in the patterns to learn more about it, to have it as a confirmation.
Yeah.
So for study material.
So it's interesting. Now we're looking at the monthly price could come down to here. And this candlestick here, because this doesn't have much of a wick here, and this was an institutional candle that engulfed these three. OK, tu nám máme tiež takú zaujímavú situáciu, kde táto sviečka nemá skoro žiadny knot a táto sviečka engulfing je väčšia ako 3 predchádzajúce sviečky. All depends on what I see with the cloud. In the beginning of October, what the cloud is showing me, that's what I'll go with. A všetko bude závisieť, čo mi ukáže na začiatku oktobra cloud. Podľa toho sa začne zariaďovať. OK. Also, this is a big base rally, right? The monthly. This one? Yes. Yeah. Maybe that's where price was getting stuck so much. But now it looks like it got the fire going. Yeah. Well, again, it's going to be interesting next week to see, because if price breaks this zone here, then I see it coming down to here, in here. Takže bude to zaujímavé pozorovať budúci týždeň, pretože ja to vidím tak, že keď cena prerazí túto zónu, it's a zone around 1800, okolo tých 1800, ako tam vidíte. This is around 1677. No. I mean the first zone that it needs to go through. Oh, okay. Here? Yeah, tak, 1811.
18.11, keď to prerazí, tak vidím potenciálne ísť cenu až dole. Až po tú BCčku týždennú dole.
But with this candlestick, if it does finish here, expect a retracement of 38% to 50% of this candlestick.
Ale keď táto skončí tu na dole, tak očakávame potom ďalšia sviečka, že spraví retracement aspoň 38%. So this will be BOSC candle, yes?
Yeah.
Aha. Toto bude BOSC sviečka. Super.
Okay. Awesome. I can take maybe one more question because we have another call with Alexandra and a couple of the leaders about something special that's happening in Slovakia soon.
Takže za chvíľočku máme špeciálny hovor s lídrami o Slovensku, ohľadom Slovenska a niečom veľmi špeciálnom. Takže so I would just take maybe one very short question or just wrap it up.
Okay, yeah, one short question.
Takže ak tak jedna rýchla ešte otázočka a budeme musieť končiť.
Ak nikto sa nehlasí, môže sa spýtať.
Môžem mať ja otázku.
Jasne, go ahead.
Kto ide prvý?
Barborka, jedna.
Dobre.
Druhá sa bude musieť zapísať do budúcna.
Pohode. Kľudne, hej, choď.
Ríškem.
Ja by som poprosila na 12-hodinový časový rámec.
Please look at 12 hour.
A tam, kde čaká tú odrazovú na tom dlhom knote, 1830 alebo...
Long week around... No, aká je otázka?
Že vedľa je sviečka bez spodného knotu. Či neočakáva, že sa cena dojde až tam?
A na ktorej cene to je? 1730?
1831.
1831, to si myslím, že kľudne očakáva. 1831, there is a candle without wick and a large wick. If you go back.
31. Okay. Here?
Táto?
Nie. Tu čakal ten dlhý knot, čo tam je.
Ty myslíš úplne vľavo?
Hej.
Barbie means the one left. And I want to ask, go left. Yes, here.
Here.
But it already was touched.
Yeah, this one's already been touched, so it's not valid.
Takže super otázka, pretože to už nie je validné. Cena sa tam chce dostať, aby tam bola aspoň raz.
Okay.
Vtedy stráca tú silu tá zóna, že by sa tam musela chcieť dostať znovu.
Dobre, ďakujem krásne.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Bond. This is fantastic. Poďme študovať, backtestovať. Nech sa to na nás pomaličky všetko lepí už a skladá sa to v úspešných traderov. Takže dobrú prajem.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Remember to check the cloud. Don't have to understand it, but if you see the lines pointing in one direction on a higher time frame, remember that is where the momentum is.
OK. Takže pamätajte si pozerať na cloud na veľkých tajmoch, aj keď mu nerozumiete niektorí ešte, tak keď cloudové linie ukazujú veľmi silno nejakým smerom, tak tam ide momentum.
Okay. You're welcome, guys, and I will see you tomorrow morning on Mr. Hunt's trading call.
Oh, really? Fantastic. Vidíme sa ráno.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you, bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.